when we're working to build our mobility for any skill, but now we'll hone in on the front split, we're trying to achieve more usable mobility. And so the difference between usable mobility and flexibility is that with usable mobility, you can actually access it under your own power compared to passive flexibility, which I can remember being a kid and being in gymnastics. And the passive flexibility was when the coach would push me into the split. I could get there if their weight was on me, pushing me down, but I wasn't there under my own power. I couldn't pull my legs into that position. And so often, passive flexibility is how people go about trying to improve their overall control and mobility for these skills and tricks that you're trying to learn that require greater ranges of motion. What we know now is that that's an outdated way to approach it. We know that just trying to work passive flexibility and long hold passive stretching is incredibly outdated. And when it's on its own, it not only doesn't expand our usable mobility, but it doesn't teach our nervous system anything. And that is really, really important for us to recognize, because when we teach our nervous system how to control things better, so that's our brain coming into our spinal cord, coming out to our nerves, which goes out to our muscles that lets me do all of these motions. When we teach that how to control a particular range, it'll grant us that range. For comparison, this is a little bit of an older shirt of mine. If you've been to my other workshops, you've heard me do the t-shirt analogy. I kind of stretched it out, cut the sides, the sleeve. I didn't want sleeves on it, tied the back. I kind of just customized it. But I did all of that by doing equivalent to a passive flexibility session. I pulled on these until they got loose, and I stretched on this until it sunk and kind of hung a little more relaxed fit. I pulled on the bottom so that then I could tie it together. Okay, so you can see it's like tied together that way. And so now that's how that t-shirt is. I can't unstretch it. I can't make it tight again because it's just fabric. It has no brain, it has no education, it doesn't know how to contract, it doesn't do any of that. You are the furthest thing from an old t-shirt. You are this complex being that can actually lengthen without needing to stretch yourself into oblivion. And the way we'll do that is by getting your nervous system, brain, spinal cord, and nerves involved so that they can learn what they're supposed to do. The side benefit of that is it becomes a safer way to improve your range of motion. You actually can withstand more force on those tissues, which means that you're less likely to strain them in the future. In addition, you get stronger. And so if you read the directions already on page 2, you'll see as we go through tonight that true mobility training is strength training. And so it will feel similar to strength training, where it's effortful and sometimes quite effortful. And so knowing that, you then get this bigger picture of what mobility is achieving for you. Not just greater range of motion, although that's the primary thing we're looking for, but also greater strength and greater injury resistance and greater control of your body, right? And so all of these things are coming out of this simple mobility practice. I'm really excited about it and to share it with all of you. So let's dive into the first thing we're going to do tonight, which is go through our assessments. If you've